Hey, so I did a little more digging on this whole story since I had never heard of it as a child, and I found it very strange that there would have been this massive ghost story in Old Town Pasadena, which is South Pass, um, that I had never heard of. I found it very unusual, right? So check it out. The person who was spreading this around has an account named Spooky Foodie. Let's take a look. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So you show a couple of chairs toppled over that you could have done yourself. All right. Ah. Every other site is picking up the videos from Spooky Foodie. According to the video, all right?
I have received some real ghost stories about the Pasadena Cheesecake Factory location. There is apparently a little girl who haunts the basement area. Legend has it, back in the day, this property used to be a bank, and the bank teller's daughter accidentally locked herself in the bank vault. By the time they found her in there, it was too late. Now, I don't know how much truth there is to that story. That's just what I saw in a lot of your comments, and also what I noticed when looking.
I'm sorry. How long was she locked in there? Because it's a bank vault. She's not going to run out of oxygen. She's not going to be chilled because she's in a freezer. So, can you kindly explain to me how many days she was locked in a bank vault unattended and somehow just died from this experience?
When looking up more information about this location online. I got a few messages from former employees, but I'm going to just talk about one because it's a very lengthy story. Okay, here's the message. So yeah, it's super haunted by this girl's spirit. She's known to mostly spend a lot of time in the boiler room. I used to be a busser, and it was sometimes rough opening because we'd have to get napkins and utensils, all sorts of stuff. And we knew going alone was a gamble on whether or not we were going to be screwed with by this spirit that lies in the dungeon. Many stories of people seeing her, prep cooks coming out and crying because they saw her. I also watched footage on the security cameras in the safe room where two managers were in there and stacks of papers from the cubbies violently flew out and scared them. Honestly, I wish there was substantial footage to provide.
Yeah, seriously, can you show us that footage, please? Because I grew up going to a church in South Pass, and I have never heard of this before, and all of a sudden you popped up a year ago passing out this bullshit? Alright.
But I never got access. As for me personally, you'd have an idea she was around because there was a remarkable chilling when alone in certain parts. She would easily knock stuff over and a lot of random bangs, knocks, and noises were heard. I've seen her only as a misty sort of orb or as a mist that incorporated into a small person on a few occasions. Some repairmen and technicians have walked out of the repair job because the girl's spirit was scaring them. As for the tunnels and brick foundation I mentioned, there are short archways and collapsed elevator shafts. I wish I had more pictorial evidence, but it's remarkable how much is still there and intact behind locked doors and rooms. Wow, so it sounds really spooky down there. Have you heard?
Oh, I'm sorry. There's collapsed elevator shafts? Are you for real? That South Pass would not be on top of the building codes on that bullshit, especially with the amount of earthquakes we have in California. Okay.
You heard of this legend behind this little girl? Are there any other haunted locations in Pasadena that you want me to check out? Let me know in the comments.
Oh my god, even.
Let's see what this Diet Coke does to my blood sugar.
What
This is one.
Even? I can't. And where'd she get her fucking screen name? Spooky Foodie? I can't, you guys. And this is the source for this fucking ghost story? Wow. It's hard to believe anything that these websites are publishing if they publish that. Wow. That's amazing to me. I mean, she's got a YouTube channel too. Spooky Foodie YouTube.
There is a haunted Cheesecake Factory in Old Town Pasadena. Yes, you heard me right. I've gotten a couple messages about it, so
Okay, we already watched that bullshit. We watched it. All I can say is this. There is no other evidence than Spooky Foodie from a year ago, who was walking around Pasadena, or paid actors to walk around Pasadena and do this bullshit story. I grew up going to church in South Pass. I have never heard of this before. And you would think that it doesn't even make any logical sense. If she got locked in the vault, that would have been like 1 to 2 days max that the bank wasn't open, right? And it'd be less than then, because the parents would have been like, where's my daughter? Where's my daughter? What do you think? What are you trying to imply? That she suffocated in a bank vault? They're very large. I mean, what are you even saying? I can't. Who's behind Spooky Foodie? Who's behind it?